Hello, David Morgan here, and today we're going to talk about how to go from vibe markup to vibe design. Um, and one of the biggest problems that you'll find out in vibe coders is that they don't plan. And this is very critical that we have to plan out the process. Now, I'm not going to give you a big in-depth tutorial on all this because this is to give you a glance over it. There's more than enough here, more than enough nuggets for you to get the idea of what we should be doing. Two, my laptop isn't the best at doing over the shoulder designs or videos at this point. I am looking to get a better system, but until then, you got to deal with the Reader's Digest version of this lesson. So the first thing I'm going to do is, believe it or not, I'm not even leaving a browser for this. Okay, so I made up a business called Apex Bitter Critters, the ABCs, right? And then, so essentially, I told the AI that um, I'm looking for certain colors, a brand card to make me a brand card that best fits the business. Okay. And then from there, to go ahead and build that brand card, if I know about the colors ahead of time, it helps. And if I don't know about the colors ahead of time, I'll ask it to generate the colors, like what it thinks it should be used. Let the AI actually go out and research as well. Um, but for an example, like if I got a client and he already has an existing website and a logo and stuff like that, I would say, hey, listen, based on the current website, all right, make me a brand card based off of that, and then let the colors be what they are, but then let the font families and sizes and stuff be something you would improve upon that would make that business better stand out, and then you can do stuff like that, and so then you get a brand card like this, okay, and so which is pretty good. So this kind of what this does is it gives AI a guardrail. In other words, so when I start to build forward, it can't leave the rules of this brand card. Okay, and so in other words, this is a hard and fast rule that we want to exist with. Um, and then based off of this brand card, I need to go ahead and make me uh, some business mock-ups, some web page mock-ups. I actually had to make me a homepage mock-up, an about us page mock-up, a service page mock-up, and a contact page mock-up. We have to assume that I'm making more than one page, not just the first home page. Now, at the same token, though, as you can see forward, here's what this would look like. So it's not necessarily the best looking, and I don't even care about that because I'm trying to teach us a lesson a little quickly here. And I would actually put a little bit more time and effort into disguising the mock-up to be better looking. And if there was images on the main money site or from let's say somebody else's, from an existing website, there's some other images or assets that are there that probably should be carrying over. I would probably have AI include those inside the mockups as well. So this is the home page. This should be the another home page. Actually, this is a service page. I think this is the about us page. I couldn't tell you. And then this is the contact us page. Um, Not necessarily the best that it could do, but guess what? If you want to put effort into it, go for it. I'm not going to die on this hill. Uh, but anyway, so we're going to use this anyways. So then now what I want to do is if we wanted to design this mock-up, if you wanted to design this mock-up, I'm sorry, if we wanted to, I even said it wrong. If we wanted to build a website based off of this mockup, that's what I was how I corrected myself. In the brand card, what would the prompt be? And keep in mind, we want it to be very verbose, which means very informative. And then it goes off and makes these uh, a very huge prompt. Okay, location language. Apparently, I didn't think that through. But then in part of this, I probably would include like SEO prompts as well. Like, okay, for the SEO part of this, I need you to utilize, I need you to generate the best meta tags, titles, and descriptions, and other on page elements. I need you to make that part of the prompt as well, so that once we go in there, uh, we're not we're not guessing anymore because we have it all prompted out. Now you probably could get away, you could probably do it with a one shot, but I would probably set it up to say, okay, this prompt has to be for the home page, and then I would tell it to go ahead and make me a prompt for the internal pages as well, instead of having Lovable guess at all the pages at once, because we're about to use Lovable, and then so there's that, and now we get to go to Lovable, and with Lovable you get five free daily credits. So why not go ahead and paste it in there? And what I'm going to do is I downloaded the the brand card and the mockup as well. So I'm going to include that as well. So I want to really reinforce the guardrails. Look, we don't have to do the planning. This takes credits. And I'm trying to do this from the standpoint, man, I want to keep all my credits for something useful. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan on ChatGPT and then come over to Lovable and then get it built, right? Um, so here we go. Let's see if we can stay under uh, five credits. I'm going to pause it until it gets done. All right, so it built out the website. Let's see, and it looks pretty decent, actually. In fact, looks a lot better than the mock-up, which is good. But it stayed within the brand card elements. I would probably change out I'll probably change out the menu. I'm not going to do anything else to this, but I wanted you to see this for yourselves. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, "Well, I thought you said you did this in Codex." Yes. Now that I got it onto uh, Lovable, and I did a lot of, I want to do as much. Let's see how many credits it costed me to do this. Well, all five credits, which is fine, right? So I could still use. I mean, I could still edit this, right? Because chances are you're not going to be done. So now that's probably why it built out the four pages as well. So I'm gonna go over here to Builder. I'm gonna go to Settings, I think it is, and then I'm gonna go down to Git, and then GitHub, and then connect to GitHub, and then once it's done, there it is. Now I just copy this over to Anti-Gravity, Cloud Code, Codex, and then I begin the process all over again. Or I go ahead and start editing from there. Um, Now, at the same time, let me go back over here too, though, just to go over some lovable tips and tricks and all this other stuff. Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, I need to be able to design it myself." Okay, fine. Um, it does have a lot of elements that will allow you to make um, edits. They've been very good about lately. They've been very good about putting in some of these design features into here. I'm trying to figure out. I think this is where it's at though. Yeah, you select an element right here, and then I can just go ahead and I should be able to just go in there and double click it. There it is. EPA approve. We'll just say I'll just. Oh, what happened there? There it goes. What's going on? It's being ornery. So I might want to just say I might want to get rid of that EPA approved part. Actually, let's get rid of the little odor. You see, and then send. That shouldn't cost any credits. Let me double check. Yeah, it doesn't cost any credits. And then you go ahead and publish your app. You know, it's not about better or worse whether it comes to this or if I want to, Codex or Anti-Gravity or Visual Studio. It's still going to work. You're still going to be able to play with this as much as you want to. Um, Make all the necessary adjustments you feel you need to do. Don't assume that you're locked into one thing. You know, if you don't know, you can mess with the code even more. Uh, Files that goes to create. There's the codes you could play with. For those of us that are industrious and need to go that route with it, that's probably sometimes a good idea too to actually go inside of there. And instead of having to use the selector tool. But yeah, I hope you guys have found this useful. But this is exactly how I do it. I start off with a brand board. I make a brand board to give it rules, and then I make a mock-up, and then based off of both mock-up and brand board, I really reinforce the guidelines or the guardrails for AI to stick to come out with a good and clean web design. All right. Thank you guys for watching.